Okay, we are going to draw a winter cabin scene. This is, the trickiest part of this is the moon. So what I want to remind you of is to draw it really lightly, barely touching your paper. We're barely touching your paper. If you're gripping your pencil really tight and pushing hard, you're going to have a hard time erasing. So there's going to be a lot of erasing that we're going to be doing for this project. So just really draw lightly. Sketch lines are really good to draw, where you're just kind of creating short little lines that go the way that you want them to go. So that's my special tip. It's always my special tip. But let's go ahead and get into our drawing. So we're going to create our big C, or big circle. So remember to hold it lightly, draw it lightly, and try to create a circle-y shape. We're going to remanage our circle-y shape because I have a big bulgy thing right here. I want to make this a little bit more circled out. So I'm going to push this up a little bit. I'm going to make that look a little bit more like a circle, right? So now I can erase this part. And now I can rework some of this. This didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to. So I'm going to erase all these lines around it. I like that part. That's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to make this part come down a little bit better over here. So it looks more like we're getting a circle. But my circle's gone a little bit too far over here. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. I don't want it to be quite that far. There we go. I'm feeling like that's pretty good. Hopefully you're getting something that resembles a circle-ish thing. Remember that we are learning here. Don't get frustrated with yourself. So now I'm going to create my my crested moon. So I'm going to put this circle inside here. I do want this to come higher. Let's see. Pull this one higher. There we go. Okay, so I start narrow, super narrow, and I widen it up a little bit here. Not too wide. I don't want to get it too wide. I'm just kind of tracing along there. And now here, I'm going to start narrowing it down. Narrow, narrow, narrow to the point. And then erase all the other parts you don't need. So it's all very light touches. Light, light, light. Cannot emphasize that enough. Alrighty, now we have our log cabin. See, our log cabin's pretty much in the middle of our moon. We're going to put it in the middle of our moon. So I'm going to find the center of my moon, center of that inner circle right here. And right above that, right where my finger was, I'm going to draw a straight line. It's a little bit over an inch long. Again, keep it light. We're going to be erasing some of that. And then you want to start a triangle off this end. Start a triangle. See? We're not going to finish the bottom of the triangle. We're going to put land in there in a minute. And now on this side, do just this back side. Now it kind of looks like a tent, right? We're going to add a chimney. This will take away our tent look for sure. And see how I brought my chimney below my roof line? I'm going to erase the roof line inside my chimney. And then I'm going to do a V right in there. There's my chimney. Here I'm going to put a rectangle right in here for my roof. I'm going to bring it down. Do you see how it's coming lower than my roof line? That's fine, because we're going to put land down here. So I have a door right here. And now I'm going to put, this is where we're going to start our logs. The logs in here are visible. So we're going to put some lines in here, little rounded lines to show the end of the log. Okay. Now we're going to put some lines straight down on this part. Try to keep them somewhat evenly spaced. I didn't do a fantastic job of that. That's all right. It's close enough. All right, now we're going to do our lines across. These are our logs across. Try to keep them perfectly horizontal. And from here, do little loops that finish out the log so it looks like there's the log ends. And the same thing over here, do little loops. Loop, loop to the line, loop to the line, loop to the line. Now it looks a little bit more like logs. I need to extend this down a bit, I think. All right. From there, we are going to draw a horizon line, which is where our ground is. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to come up a little bit, like it's kind of like the ground isn't super even, where you can kind of see the house past the line. There we go. I did want this above here, so I'm going to bring this all the way up and widen this a little bit like that. I wanted my moon to come up above my land line. Now this, you don't want this super wavy. This is actually kind of a little too wavy to me. You just want some subtle change in the horizon line. So now we are going to put in our mountains in the background. So I'm going to have you look at these mountains again. Your mountains are not going to look just like my mountains. Your mountains might be narrower, wider. That's okay. We are going to just do our best, right? So kind of anywhere above the cabin, find a spot. I'm going to choose the middle, and I'm going to make some crazy little lines coming down on this mountain. And have it come up. There we go. Here's the start of my mountain. I'm going to have it even come down a little further here. That's a good mountain. Now, in the center of that mountain, I'm going to create some crazy little patterns like this. Look how it kind of comes out. I'm starting to see that there's some movement in our mountain. So here I have another section that kind of comes like this. I'm going to do the same thing over there, where we are putting in some structure to our mountain. Do you see that? So over here, that's it. I'm going to do right here. I'm going to come this way and this way. More mountain pieces. All right, I like that mountain. That mountain feels pretty good to me. I'm going to do the next one. Well, actually, I'll put a little bit more. Do something right in the middle here, where there's little land formations coming out like that. You can do a little bit more there if you wanted to. All right, now coming up here, I'm going to do another one over here. I'm going to do this one coming down here, this one stopping here, because I'm going to put another one, another peak over here. Now I'm going to put my details in and watch what I do with this one. I'm going to have this one have another peak right there. Isn't that nice? I'm going to pull this one back a little bit so we know that these are individual mountains. We don't want it to conflict. We want to be able to see, oh, that mountain goes with that. That whole structure goes there. This one goes with this. So up here again, and maybe have it come like that. And have this one come down here. All right, next side over here, I'm going to have one that comes a little bit lower. And then pulls down like this. All right, there's our crazy mountains up there. Put a little bit of a hill structure down here. And don't get too close. A lot of it's just having fun experimenting, right? Okay. This actually is really bugging me right here. It looks like the mountain is like falling over. There we go. That feels better to me. All right. All right. So we're going to do some trees now. I'm actually going to make a path first. So from the door, I'm going to come out just a little bit, back and out like that. So start at this other side of the door, start narrow, and then build it out and come out like that. There's my path to my cabin. So do you see how it's wide out here and gets narrower and narrower toward the door? You could even have it kind of going like this a little bit more. Nice. All right. Now we have some trees to make. So pine trees, you can do it a couple different ways, but I'm going to show you a simple way to do it. I'm going to make the trunk here of a pine tree. I'm going to thicken it up on the bottom, nice and thin at the top. And then I'm just going to have it pull out like this. Do you see my strokes are pulling out from my tree trunk? Parts are thick, some parts are thinner, some come out farther, some stay more narrow. These are just quick little lines. I'm going to show you right on here. It's like that. So you push down, pull off, push down, pull off, but you also try to give it a little bit of a curve. I use this stroke all the time for grass, for eyelashes, for hair, right? All kinds of strokes. So that push and pull off is what you want to try to create here. So you have that sharp tip. So I'm going to do another one, do it a little less intense. Maybe have a few less, it's more of a stringy little guy. Kind of a Charlie Brown tree. So give it some variety. Nature is random. So you want to show random nature. You don't want to have it all in a line. You don't want to have them all right next to each other. Nature is random. All right, I'm going to pull in. I'm going to do a little land formation right here. We're going to put a little rock in. So I'm doing a little land right here. And now I'm going to have it come up and back down. Here's a rock. We could have another rock right behind it. Oops, there's not many rocks shaped that way, huh? There's a couple of rocks. Now I'm going to have another little land formation that's going to have some more trees. So here's another way I like to draw trees. See these squigglies? Squiggles get bigger and bigger as I go down. That's how I like to do trees. I paint them that way with my watercolor. I draw them that way. That's how I like to make trees. I'm just squiggling back and forth. Should we do some bushes right here? Squiggly bushes. Squiggly bushes. If you're happy just doing it like this, do it like that. But if you want to try some squiggles, try some squiggles. Squiggles. Putting a lot of trees right there. All right. Another section will bring a little bit of maybe little rock formations down here. All right, other side. I'm gonna have a tree coming where you can't really, where it comes out of frame. I think things look really good when they are partially in the frame, partially out of frame. It makes it look like a really natural picture. But in order to make it look right, you have to make it look right, right? You can't just have it be, stop right here. You have to have it coming in there. And then here's my trunk of my tree, and maybe give it some land formation. All right, I'm gonna do a tree back here. You can put as many or as few trees as you want. Do another one right here with my scribblies. One of my sayings that my students hear all the time is jiggity jaggedy is the bomb datey. That jiggity crazy, see how I'm doing all this crazy line like a buzzy bee going, or a gnat, you know, those super annoying flies that just goes all around your face when you really don't want them there. That's what I'm doing with my pencil. Maybe put a little rock right here. Make this tree a little bigger. All right. Are we getting there? I feel like we're getting there. Maybe do another little formation here where the land is kind of... All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Yeah, we could just do the top of a tree right here. That'd be kind of fun, huh? So we know that it's coming out of frame, but it's like the tree is right here. I kind of like that. Do we have good composition? Does it feel kind of even-ish? Not, I think so. All right, we can put a little bit of line work into our path. See how I'm just kind of lining the path? And then we can put a little bit of line work into our moon. Just kind of doing little tracing lines here, tracing the outside. That looks kind of nice that way. And then let's put some crazy little stars in. Do you see my little diamonds? I do this, and I do the same thing on the bottom. Little diamond shapes that are just kind of filling the space here to show this is a nighttime scene. You can even have one hanging here. Is that kind of fun? And then, or you could have a moon hanging there. That'd be cute too. A little moon in the scene. And then little stars, 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 stars. Make them random. Some are big, some are little. Keep them random. A shooting star, ready? Shooting star. All right, there it is. I hope you liked your drawing. We'll see you next time.